Welcome to Seeking On, where the seeking stops and you can just surrender, be here now. Hello, welcome. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about non-duality and particularly the non-dual experience. So you'll often hear me call this experience the now. This experience ultimately is completely ineffable. So whatever words I use will only be pointers, but ultimately the experience itself speaks for itself, and that's the only way. So the now is total acceptance of the present moment. I like to differentiate between the present moment and the now. The present moment is something that's always changing, at least how I conceptualize it. It's this constant moment-to-moment experience of sensations, sounds, thoughts, and it's always changing. But the now is the space from which the present moment arises. It is the source of all else. So dropping back into the now isn't really about changing your state. It's about changing your perspective. It's about surrender, detaching from the present moment and simply observing. The now is stillness. The now is peace. The now is awe. The now is this almost a force that absorbs your attention. It pulls you into effortless concentration. When I go hiking and climb up on top of a mountain and look at this awe-inspiring view, this vast range of peaks and valleys, and in that embracing of this experience, you get a feeling you're being pulled into it, as if it's fully captivated your attention, and you become absorbed into this moment now. This experience is the same as what one would experience during flow state. So if you've ever found yourself completely effortlessly doing some task, you've found yourself in the now. It is ease. It is freedom. It is total liberation from the mind. The mind is this processing machine that is constantly trying to understand the world, trying to know, trying to make predictions. And it's okay. It's good that it's doing that. It's helping keep us alive by doing that. But unless we learn how to not become attached to the mind, we are essentially just puppets to the mind. So the mind is this processing machine that's constantly trying to know, trying to understand. But when we're in the now, any need to know or any need to understand just fades away. I often like to point people to this space by explaining that the now feels the same as what it feels like to not know. So we all know that feeling of not knowing. And if for some reason you think you don't know, well, now you just felt that feeling of not knowing. We can always drop into this mystery, this not knowing space. But usually we resist it. The mind doesn't like to wait there. It wants to try and know. But if you really embrace not knowing, embrace the mystery, that's where you find the now. That's where you become absorbed into the mystery. And it can really just pull you deeper. Every moment that you forget about the now, you can just remember. You can just come back to not knowing, come back to surrender. The now is stillness. It's emptiness, as some people call it. But it's in this emptiness that all of the fullness comes from. It's essentially in the stillness that you find all the movement. So when you drop back into the now, you find fullness, you find love. And the longer you sit in that now, the more full and expansive it gets to seemingly infinite level. The now is boundless. There's no edges to the now. The now is formless, and it's yet the space that all form exists within. The now is awareness of awareness. Another way to drop into the now is to just sit with the question of, who am I? Who am I? But to not necessarily expect an answer, but to just sit with that inquiry. Who am I? Who am I? Really? It's sitting with this inquiry, the self-inquiry, that the space of the now emerges. Because it is in just this process of following your curiosity. Following curiosity without a need to know, just with an open mind to experience. So the now is something that's essentially foundational to everything. It is the essence of awareness. And we can find this total clarity of awareness anytime, anywhere, no matter what is going on in physical space, no matter what sensations are going on in your body, no matter what thoughts are running through your mind, you can always drop into the now. And you can then allow the mind to think. You can allow the pain to flow. You can allow just all sensations to move while you're in the now. Simply observing things as they are. Accepting everything as it is. So that's why there's obviously so much power to dropping into the now. So I would encourage you, as you go on with your day, to try and bring a few moments of the now into your life. Just little glimpses, just little moments of embracing not knowing. Embracing the mystery. Resistance of the unknown is pretty much the foundation of all of our fears. There's so many things we don't know, and so many things in that unknown that we believe could potentially harm us. And so when we just think of the unknown, we often are thinking of all the potential harm that happens in that place. But we can use that. We can use that energy, that mystery, that not knowing, that unknown, to launch us deeper into the now. It's almost like the more confused and the more uncertain this future scenario is, the more presence one can find in it, the more absorbed they can become into the now. Some of you, this may be sounding like super abstract, but for those, I would just encourage you to just try it. Just every once in a while throughout the day, just drop into the now. Just drop into not knowing. We all know how to drop into that. We all know what it feels like to not know, as I already explained earlier. The now has this eternal quality to it. It's always there. Every time you look, it's there. First time I experienced this with really extreme clarity, I just had this overwhelming sense of knowing that I'm always held. The now always holds me. Because no matter what, whenever I look, it's there. Whenever I look, stillness is there. And I'm going to forget, of course. I'm going to forget to look. All the time. But every time I remember, it's there. So it really just comes down to remembering. The more you practice this, the easier it is to remember. The more often you remember. And the more you do all kinds of other spiritual practices, all of them, any healing practice, all that is giving you the capacity to do, or not all, but the foundation of what those practices are doing is making it easier for you to settle into the now. It is, all that stuff is clearing your trauma, your bad habit patterns, anything that's preventing you from being in the now. All our practices are clearing that so that you can find the now, so that you can find who you really are, which is truly far, far, far greater than who you thought you were. And if you don't believe me, just keep looking, keep returning to the now, keep coming back. And you'll be held. Just keep returning to the now. Just keep practicing, keep looking. Be skeptical about anything I've said and see for yourself. Who are you? Who are you really? Where are you? Are you somewhere behind your closed eyes? Are you behind your eyes? Are you just this little entity inside of your head? If you think that, I would try looking, because most people, when they look, they don't find it. They just find the now. Wherever you think you lie is really just this mysterious, empty yet full space. Empty of self, but full of awareness. That's all I'll say today. I plan on sharing much, much more about non-duality, awareness, the now. So if that is something you'd be interested in hearing more about, then please let me know. And if you have any questions about this particular video or anything I've said in the past, then please feel free to reach out. Thank you for listening or watching, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.